Hello, good morning, you guys. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all doing good. Hey, the Black Barbie. Hey, too pretty Miss Kitty. How you doing, darlings? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all know today is Young Dolph's birthday, right? I had to drink me something heated, you guys. I went to the Prime Steakhouse last night, and hey, Deontay. And I normally don't eat steak because I don't like steak like that. I don't like a steak is really thick to me. So I'm not a real big steak eater, but I did order a steak, right? And it seems like I've been sick ever since. It's like the steak is stuck. I guess because it's so thick, you know. So I've been up early. I had to sit up, you know. The restaurant is really nice. The ambiance of the restaurant was really nice. Shout out to my friend for taking me out for my birthday. But that steak, I still been feeling. Hey, Dorian, how you doing? Tried lamb. I should have got lamb. But you know what? I don't eat lamb because I'm going to tell y'all why I don't eat lamb. You're going to trip out, Dorian, when I tell you this. I saw on YouTube how the lamb was crying. Y'all know PETA used to have those campaigns to show people how cruel they are to animals, try to get you not to eat meat. And the way that the lamb was crying when they was cutting his neck, I don't even buy lamb. That steak was really thick. Okay, it was really thick, and it's kind of got me sick. I hope, because it was supposed to be well done. It looked like it was brown in the middle. Shit. I'm hoping it wasn't raw. Hey, Keita. You guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm drinking some hot coffee. I'm going to drink some hot tea. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and exercise and go walking today. That should help me out. Y'all, it's Leo season. It's yeah. I'm a Leo. Young Dolph is a Leo. Key Glock is a Leo. Leos rule. I think Leos get a bad rep. What's up, the hitter? That's right, Leo gang. Listen, Clarinetta. You're Leo too, Bridge? See, right, we just Leo in. Are you a Leo too pretty, Miss Kitty? No wonder. I got a lot of Leos in my chat. See, people think that we're crazy and bossy. We might be. But who's more loyal? Who's more loyal than a Leo? You get a Leo on your team. Okay, you got a winner for life. I'm telling you. Oh, she said her daughter. I'm telling you. No, they just can't handle us. They said that it takes, like, the compatibility is other Leos. Like, most Leos need to be with other Leos. I don't know about that. As far as having a good heart, I love that about Leo men. Most Leo men are givers. They have really good hearts, but yeah, they are definitely alpha men, which is cool with me. Hey, crew. So, you guys, I'm gonna try and drop as many videos as I can. All this coming week, and do lives, because when I go down to New Orleans, I'm gonna be incognito. I'm not gonna be on the internet, and I'm gonna just chill. I was just telling somebody I need to, like, get on the train and lay down and relax and enjoy the scenery in the room on the train. I work extremely hard. I work very hard. I do a lot. I carry a lot on my shoulder. So I'm just going to enjoy and not work, and just sport, allow allow myself, to be spoiled or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Anyways, y'all, today is young Dolph's birthday. Y'all know every year for his birthday, we always do like a young Dolph birthday celebration. And I wanted to do it early. This I wanted to do it early today, of course, because there's some things that I want to do later today. I'll probably upload some videos and stuff, because I haven't really been uploading videos for the lives. You really don't. You get the hours, but you really don't get paid for the lives, right? So I'm gonna do some videos and upload a few videos, right? I want to talk about, since I'll be in New Orleans, okay? I want to talk about first, before we get into talking about young Dolph, because I want to talk about why young Dolph didn't deserve to die, and why I can't get enough of talking about why of how messed up it was, why they took him out, right? I think that everybody should take it personally on how they took him out. Okay. Now, it says, I want to talk about Turk. Okay, I was looking at OG Murda. Y'all know New Orleans, the New Orleans podcasters right now. I can't be mad at them. I congratulate them. They got the podcasting in a chokehold. Okay, they have the podcasting in a chokehold. Like, I love the New Orleans culture. I do. I love the New Orleans culture, the food, all of that good stuff. And right now, just seeing them come up and winning or whatever, that makes me extremely happy to see that. I think each and everybody have their time. I'm just one of those people that like to see other people win, right? I think that there's a season for everything and for everybody, right? And I think when you celebrate people when they're in their season, right, that's how you're able to get yours, right? When you can celebrate other people. For the last like 4 or 5 years, Memphis had really the podcasting in the chokehold. And I think before that, it was Dallas because of the Mo3 situation. And then the focus was on Memphis. And the thing that I like about it with the New Orleans podcasters, they keep it about the bottom line. I think that they're really taking it. Hey, the realty, they are really taking these opportunities and running with it. I think not all of the Memphis podcasters, but some of the Memphis, you don't really see a whole lot of Memphis podcasters, right? I think, well, I'll say this. I think with Memphis, that you had a lot of people to try and discredit the Memphis podcasters. And unfortunately, there was a lot of division. And even with the fighting back and forwards with the New Orleans podcasters, what I like about them is they come together. There is a common denominator. They do not allow, even if they cussing each other out, they don't allow anybody from the outside to come in and rewrite their culture. They don't allow people to come in and say, well, I know more about what's going on in New Orleans than you know. Okay. I kind of see, like, even when I see like people that's in my chat and they're from other cities, and if people come in, they're from the same cities, I see how they come together on one accord. But there's a divisive type of situation in Memphis, and it's been like this for a very, very long time. And I think that's one of the reasons that young Dolph was killed, because of that division, because not being able to come together on one accord. And if I can't come together on one accord, or if I cannot control you, I'm going to attack you. I'm going to get with other people to try and attack you so that I could discredit you. And if that does not work, I'm just going to kill you. Okay. Unfortunately, that's pretty much the spirit that has been prevalent in Memphis for a long time, right? So hopefully we can at some point get past that, because I don't see anything wrong with people saying, hey, listen, I don't agree with you on that, but hey, we can agree to disagree and go on. So when somebody go, well, Tamara over there, she's saying this, I know she from Memphis. Hey, no, Tamara got a right to say whatever it is that she wants to say. I might not agree with it, but I ain't get ready to talk bad about Tamara to try to discredit her to make myself seem more credible, right? I think those are the types of things that has to happen as it relates to any state, right? Because hey, I think I was looking at some cases down in Alabama, right? I was looking at some cases down in Alabama. One of the first things I said was I gotta, because some was around the Birmingham area. I was like, I gotta get with Hitter and ask him about some of these areas and stuff. Get some knowledge of how some of these areas are, so that I can narrate and put it in to some of the videos that I'm going to do on some of these missing persons cases. I not one time that I, say, well, I'm gonna do this and I don't care what they say. I know Hitler from down there in Alabama, but I'm gonna say it like this. Now I know Hitler has a lot of knowledge as it relates to Birmingham, and I want to air some of those cases. So I need for Hitler to help me out as it relates to understanding how some of those areas are, if he knows, right? Because that is his area. That is where he resides, right? So I think I don't see anything wrong with working together, because Hitler has been one of the ones that been able to tell me. I said, well, I remember that shooting at the McDonald's he was like, yeah, that was Cheese Dollar. I said, who the hell is that? I didn't know who it was. You know what I'm talking about? You have to understand you don't know everything, even if you are in the city, but you don't have to try and discredit people. And so the thing that I love about, that's why when people say, well, why do like people outside of Memphis deal with so many podcasters on the outside of Memphis? I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay. Because for some reason, there has been a lot of division as it relates to Memphis. Now, there are a lot of podcasters around the Memphis area, you know, that do their thing, and I don't think it's division or anything. I think they just do their thing. You know, you got Stan G that do his thing. You have to take your hats off to Stan G, okay, for doing his thing. You have other podcasters, True Results do his thing. True that does his thing. um he had a little original type situation going on, and people have to give him that at one point, because True that started out sitting in his car doing story time. I didn't see a whole lot of people doing that, so you have to give that dude that, you know what I'm talking about, and it piqued the interest of people, right? Even Cypress has its own uniqueness. Cypress is funny as hell, okay? um so you it's nothing wrong with giving people their props. There have been other, I'm starting to see like other, when I see podcasts like that's in my algorithm, and I click on it, I go, they from Memphis, because I know the accent. I know our accent. I go to, that's a Memphis podcaster right there, even if it doesn't say that. So when I see New Orleans, even when they going and cussing each other out, the bottom line is they're going to protect their turf and their city. Okay, I'm gonna cuss you out. They go hard, because they some real gangsters. Okay, but they protect their city. They're gonna come together on one accord. Well, yeah, such and such, this and that. So I'm happy to see that, and to see the podcasters go up. New Orleans is one of their music down there. I like that bounce music. Some of my favorite music. I love to hear that bounce music with the drums and stuff. So in it, it's that majorette band type music, right? So but Turk has been a Memphian for, I believe, the last 20 years, because I believe when Turk went to jail, I think I've talked about this at that time, I was working for the Memphis Police Department. And I was working for the Memphis Police Department at that time, and I believe I was pregnant with my second baby. And he said, any news on Jeremiah Taylor? Tell me something. I haven't heard any news as of lately on Jeremiah. Deontay says, in Cincinnati, nobody comes together. All the support on my channel comes from outsiders. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah, it's normally, unfortunately, it's always, because a lot of the people in my chat are outsiders. And I won't say they're outsiders. They're just outside of Memphis. Okay. And a lot of the people that have gone extremely hard for me, like when people were harassing me and stuff, they were straight up on the outside of Memphis. Okay. And then you have some like McName Ace, that's on the inside of Memphis, that have gone hard for me. You know what I mean? Simply because I am from Memphis, right? McName Ace go, wait a minute, Miss T is a Memphian. We can't do her like that. McName Ace is one of those types of people. So he is. Miss T is one of us, and so you know what I mean. Regardless, I don't think that this is right. McName Ace has been one of those types of people, and I do appreciate that. But Turk, I believe, has been in Memphis now for like over. How old is my daughter? My youngest daughter, is she 20? She might be 24. I'm getting to an age where I forgets their age. She's 23 or 24. So so I remember when I first started working in felony response. Okay, I was working as a typist, as a transcriptionist, where I was typing up statements for investigators as they brought the He said they only talk shit when they scared of you. So yeah, the investigators. So I was typing statements for the investigators, and I remember when that situation with young Turk, I think at that time they called him Young Turk, had happened. And the situation with young Turk happened, they brought Turk up there, and Turk was in a bad way. I think I've spoken about this before. I want to say that I think they said at that time Turk was on heroin. Okay. And what ended up happening was I think somebody reported that house that Turk was in, called the police and said that it was like some type of drug house. And the police and the sheriff's office ended up going in. And from my understanding, Turk was in the closet. And when they bust in, and they tried to say that Turk had shot a police officer. Okay. So when Turk came up there, Turk was in a bad way. Okay. I was one of the ones, I was getting ready to, my shift was about to be over, I do believe. And I was there. Cliff ended up typing that statement. Okay. And I remember they was walking Turk up and down the hallway because of how he was, you know, I think he was either coming down off of drugs or something like that. Okay. But Turk has come a long way. So when I see him now, it makes me proud because I remember seeing him back then, how bad off he was. And I think the rumors were even then that it was friendly fire. But what they was going to try to do, the deputy sheriffs was, they was going to try and pin that shooting on Turk. But I think those charges would drop. He fought them. Those charges would drop because they were going to try to give him life, I believe. They found out some kind of way that it was friendly fire. And the way that he was, his state of mind when they got him, as if he was in withdrawal. I don't even know how they weren't even supposed to even try to even take a statement from him, right? So anyways, so he was in the Shelby County jail, and they loved him. Like one of my friends said she had Turk to call. I won't say who it is because she still worked there. Turk called, and she would have, they showing him a lot of favoritism. And Turk talked to her son. She had Turk to talk to her son because her son was a real big fan of Turk while he was in jail and all that. And I think at some point they end up shifting him to the correction center or something. But anyways, now we're here. I said all that to say, I think he's been in Memphis for about 24 years or something like that, maybe over 20 years, because I do believe that I was pregnant. And so now, there have been a lot of back and forwards with Turk and, BG and some of the hot boys or whatever. But these guys all, I believe they all kind of grew up together. And so there was a lot of back and forth. And, Turk kind of has started building on the internet, which was extremely innovative, okay, for him to do, which was an extremely smart thing for him to do, because you don't really see a lot of the other rappers like BG and all of them on the internet. Turk learned the internet. At this point now, it seems to be working out for him, right, as it relates to the internet. And so, they were saying that Turk was not going to be on the tour. I remember looking at Terrence Gangsta Williams, and there was a lot of back and forth about that, right? About whether the hot boys, Baby didn't want Turk on the tour. Baby was mad about some stuff that Turk has said, etc., right? And so now some things are going on where they're saying that Turk was kicked off of the tour. And Turk said himself, okay, his wife is his manager, and he said himself, okay, that he was not kicked off of the tour, okay? I want to pull that up right quick because I know we're going to finish it off with Young Dolph, but I'm kind of interested in this situation with Turk and him and BG and all of that. I know that they considered themselves brothers and all of that, but I think people have a difference of opinion as it relates to this situation with Turk. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's see what OG Murda got to say. Y'all know OG Murda is my boy. Shout out to OG Murda. Y'all know I love OG Murda. OG Murda is so funny to me. He said Turk used to be in East Memphis all the time. Let's see what Murda say.
Yeah. What up, gang? This bitch was that man. Lord have mercy. What y'all thought I wasn't gonna bring it on a Saturday? You got me fucked up. What's up, Tip? Smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like button.
Okay, so
smash that like button.
Let's listen to Murda.
The contract. Why they said they was terminating this contract? Because they say him and BG been having controversy on the internet. We ain't got to talk it. We gonna show it. Say, bro, I'm so tired of people clout chasing me. It's really getting ridiculous. Like, can y'all please get off my dick just a little bit? If you don't get mentioned in this live, maybe you might look up the next live. But you can't make me talk about you, bro. Damn. Say, dog, shout out to my nigga Big Dime them off the Fiend, bro. Big Dime and Clay and Papa, you heard me, Sean. You heard, man, shout out to them niggas off the Fiend, man. You know that's my niggas, dog, that Fiend, dog. Josephine, what up, man? You heard me?
Shout out to OG Murda. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. You're going to be glad you did. OG Murda's so funny.
See, nigga get the information from Charleston, lying and shit. Nigga told Charleston that fucking lie, man. You gotta listen to Turk version, man. Y'all send me $1. Y'all send me $1. Don't stop smashing that like button. Don't stop smashing that like button. Send me $1.
His manager. And I feel it's only. Hi, y'all. I know it's not normal that y'all see me really talking, but right now I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm Turk's wife, but I'm also his manager. And I feel it's only right and it's our responsibility to let y'all know what's going on. As you all know, there has been a tour going on with the Cashmoney Millionaires 30th Anniversary Tour, which Turk has been on. A tour that was supposed to have 10 dates that was supposed to actually end in June, but only 2 dates have actually played for this tour. We received a request from Andrew Ellington of Artist by Artist Agency, and I also was in conversation with a representative or one of the owners of Dope Shows, the promoters who are promoting.
Nah, Turk right this time.
Cashmoney Millionaires 30th Anniversary Tour. Andrew Ellington of Artist by Artist Agency is the agent for these said tours, these dates. We received notice yesterday.
You already know that Fiend in this
while
bitch.
We in Nashville on one of the Cashmoney 30th Anniversary is Mario Mitchell for this single particular tour. While in Nashville, not only was Turk, and from my knowledge, no other artist was paid, so the Nashville show did not play. The agent, Andrew Ellington, did not pay.
That's so true, Dorian.
For this particular
smash
show.
That like button, y'all. Send your gang $1. Send your gang $1.
Nashville show did not play, which was yesterday. Yesterday, we also received a message pertaining to the Dope shows, which are Cleveland, which is to play tonight, Chicago, which is to play Sunday, and Detroit, which is to play Thursday, the 31st. So while my artist is en route, is ready and willing to perform all of these shows, we received an email from Andrew Ellington of Artist by Artist Agency saying, no, not we.
Boy, y'all think Turk losing? Boy, Turk gonna win in this situation.
I got an email from Andrew Ellington of Artist by Artist Agency, basically saying, and to our knowledge, with him being our agent, the funds were secured. Okay, the escrow. We got a message. I got an email saying that, and this is not verbatim, but I do have copies of any emails or messages for verification, stating that in so many words, Dope Shows does not have enough money to pay the artist and wants Turk to accept a minor, very minor portion of his back ends for these next 3 shows as payment to settle. And to my knowledge, this was being that all of the managers for the guys that are on this tour, we are all in conversation. This was sent to every artist. Okay, Turk respectfully declined.
Y'all talking that shit. I respect the fuck out of Turk. Turk said, fuck, see, y'all don't understand. Turk learned the internet. Baby and them can't do him that shit no more. I told y'all, the first thing go wrong, Turk was gonna hit that live button. He documented everything. Boy, if y'all think Turk gonna lose in this situation, y'all fucking crazy. Watch what I tell y'all. That bitch gonna get all his money and some. He's just documenting shit right now. You gotta know the game. Boy, Turk know this fucking internet shit. He know what he doing. Dog, go back and look at my videos when I was talking about this. Before they put him on tour, I said, dog, the first thing go wrong, that bitch gonna hit that live button. He gonna run up views. He gonna bring buku attention to it. Man, you gonna get that dude. You gonna give him his money and he gonna have a lawsuit. He know what he doing. Bitch, the Turk ain't had no money. He sure about to get some. Watch what I tell you.
Declined due to making great financial decisions and investments. We are not in a position to where we have to settle for
that's a breach. That's a breach of contract.
For fulfilling our obligations.
That's a breach of contract.
And after we received this email, I rejected. Okay, I received phone calls from another manager who I'm not gonna name at the moment, stating that she talked with Dope Show, and this is what I was told, and she also sent me a screenshot of this conversation, stating that well, if this is what she says to me, if the artists don't accept it, then I'm gonna have to cut some people out because we don't have the money to pay them.
Listen, y'all.
I have this information.
Listen to what she said.
Later on last night, well, early in the AM hours, around 4 a.m., I check my email. I wake up, I check my email, and I have an email from Artist by Artist Agency, along with an attorney.
Listen.
And in reference to or on behalf of or because of Dope Shows. Again, this is not verbatim, but I do have this email to read out.
Listen to what she said.
That because Turk is a risk and because he and BG had exchanged words on the internet weeks ago. And if we go from the beginning of
y'all heard it. Let's go back. Let's go back for the people who saying BG didn't have nothing to do with this. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Let's go back. Boy, you a hoe, boy.
I have this knowledge. Later on, last night. Well, early in the AM hours, around 4 a.m.
That boy BG a hoe.
I wake up, I check my email, and I have an email from Artist by Artist Agency, along with an attorney, and in reference to or on behalf of or because of Dope Shows. Again, this is not verbatim, but I do have this email to read out, saying that because Turk is a risk and because he and BG had exchanged words on the internet weeks ago, and if we go from the beginning of Turks and BG's exchange, this
is some whole ass shit, dog.
Last year.
Dog, this some whole ass shit.
So many successful shows.
What up, my nigga?
Saying that because of that, we have to terminate his contract.
Oh man. Dog, that nigga jizzled down bad for this.
I'm here to inform you guys that this is a retaliation.
No, dog, that bitch do get a hoe.
And if we go,
dog, listen to this shit.
Or because of Dope Shows, again, this is not verbatim, but I do have this email to read out, saying that because Turk is a risk and because he and BG had exchanged words on the internet weeks ago, and if we go from the beginning of Turk,
do you see this?
This started, about 1 or 2 years ago, or at least a year ago, last year. And mind you, since then, so many successful shows have played. Saying that because of that, we have to terminate his contract. I don't know who else has received this email. I don't know if it was.
Dog, this is some whole ass shit.
But we are here to inform you guys that this is a retaliatory act. Our attorneys are on board. Again, why would this come after? Mind you, we have weekly marketing meetings with Dope Shows, with Andrew Ellington of Artist by Artist Agency. This was never a concern. Yesterday was a play. The only reason why it did not play is because the promoter and the agent.
Y'all listen to the gangster. This the fucking lady. Wait.
And the promoter, Mario.
Y'all stupid ass niggas come and tell a nigga what gangster said. We listened to it from Turk and his wife, the people who it happened to. How the fuck y'all gonna tell a nigga what gangster saying? This gangster ain't nowhere around these people. Stop telling me what the fuck that rat said, man. Y'all stupid as a motherfucker. How the fuck you hearing it from the horse's mouth and you come tell a nigga with somebody who ain't got nothing to do with it saying? Man, shut your dumb ass up, man. Sounds stupid as a motherfucker.
Did not have the funds to pay Turk. And from firsthand knowledge with other managers, nobody else was paid. Had they been paid, Turk would have performed on stage with the rest of the artists on the show. There would be no concern of a risk. This risk that Artist by Artist Agency and
niggas said Turk a risk, dog.
That Dope Shows is so concerned about. Where is this risk? The show that is the day before. But after we reject the offer to accept only a portion of what's owed, now we get the termination notice. So again, this is a blatant retaliatory act. It is and will be addressed, and we are just informing the people that
pretty.
You are coming to see Hot Boy Turk in Cleveland, Chicago, or Detroit. He will not be there. I'm not sure what other artists will be there. I'm not sure who.
Duh, niggas scared of Turk, dog. Niggas scared of Turk, dog.
But,
that bitch is scared of Turk.
I can't assure you.
Oh man, no, dog.
Who I would really like to, commend them for always doing straight business. The upcoming dates with Live Nation with Turk and all of the hot boys will still go on as planned, and you will see him there. So we just want to...
Man, no.
I guess I don't have to say nothing this time.
No, he don't have to say nothing, and we're going to stop.
Niggas scared. Niggas say Turk is a risk, dog. Niggas scared, man. Niggas scared, man. No, dog. Stay around. Boy, that bitch BG look like a hoe. Boy, Jizzle look like a fucking hoe. That dog. That's it, dog. Said, bro, you heard the word that was used. Turk is a risk. Somebody scared. When a nigga say you a risk, dog. Said, bro, y'all remember that video? I think it's in my disco where Turk said, nigga, you think you can stop me from being on tour, nigga? You can't stop me from being on tour. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember that shit, 40? I don't respect that shit. Man, y'all, dog, that nigga straight went told, dog. That nigga said Turk a risk. Dog, you basically told the nigga you scared of a nigga. Man, come on, man. You got a whole big ass bodyguard, dog. You sitting over there talking about you scared, dog. Man. See, bro. See what I'm talking about, bro? See what I'm talking about? Cold-blooded fucking clown, bro. Now, why he ain't on that man bag like that? But guess what? Turk showing all them bitches he a man, you heard me? See, nigga got used to the old Turk who take that shit. Turk know how to work that internet now. So anytime a nigga wrong him, Turk ain't gonna do nothing but go live. I bet you that video got buku views. He gonna get money off that shit, and guess what? Everything documented. And he gonna show how nigga that is a breach of contract. That is a breach of contract. That's a breach of contract when the motherfucker ain't got your money. How is not a breach of contract? You ain't got my money. You trying to make me take some low. You breached the contract. We agreed on something. We signed the contract. You come back and tell me you ain't got my money. That's a breach of contract. Turk gonna get paid off of this shit. Everybody hit a lick. If he ain't no money before, guess what? That bitch about to be straight. Y'all think Turk fucked over and y'all laughing at Turk? Shit, Turk gonna laugh straight to the bank on them stupid bitches. Why the fuck you think he fucking went live? Turk know what he doing. Turk know how to play internet. That bitch know how to play internet, trust me. Take it from me. He knows how to play internet. Dog, I told y'all. I said, boy, they let Turk on that bitch. The first thing go wrong, Turk gonna go live. Talking about a nigga feel threatened. Boy, get your bitch ass out of here. I wish I would go to a nigga and tell a nigga I feel threatened by another nigga. Yeah, man, how you gonna tell a nigga you feel threatened? Man, I feel threatened by that nigga, that dog. Tell about something about that nigga that I just feel threatened. Threatened by another man? The fuck you mean you feel threatened? Man, baby should have told your bitch ass get out of his face with that whole ass shit.
Okay, so I mean, there you have it. I think Turk went live and said that the issue was with of course his wife did say that the booking company said something about because of his issue with BG, but all the time they just didn't have the money to pay all the artists. And from my understanding, some of the other artists did not get their money, from my understanding. Okay, and I think from their understanding, but Turk refused to perform anymore, in which anybody would have done the exact same thing. He refused to perform anymore until he got all of his money. I don't blame him. You don't have these folks back in, I wouldn't go out and perform either. Okay. You already didn't pay me and I performed in one place, and you want me to go and perform again to continue the show on a promise? I don't blame him. I mean, he would be a damn fool to do something like that, right? So he said something about the booking agent went and turned himself into the probation. His probation officer, he ended up in jail or something like that. But hell, that ain't got nothing to do with him. He's supposed to have people in place in case he go to jail. He get these folks their back ends, right? So anyway, shout out to Turk. I hope him and BG. I don't know why they can't. Why it's like oil and water with him and BG. You hear some people say, I mean, I think it's kind of divided. You hear people say, well, Turk say things about BG that he shouldn't say about BG. And then you hear people say that they think that BG is jealous of Turk. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Either way, I know they came up together. So hopefully that can be panned out, be ironed out. But here's the thing: when people get older, they have different interests. They grow. Turk is living way in Memphis now. BG is, I don't know if BG is in New Orleans or somewhere. Okay, Las Vegas or something. Your interests and stuff change as you get older, but hopefully the foundation of how their friendship and love started, hopefully they're able to get back to that and at least rekindle that, to have respect for each other and be able to coexist and make money together. Okay. Now, shout out to New Orleans. Okay. So Turk is living in Atlanta now, because he was living in Memphis. I thought Turk just said on live that he was living in Memphis. So he done moved to Atlanta. He says, never give people the benefit of the doubt. Doubt them till you benefit. I'll always remember that. Hey Tashawn, how are you? You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please do hit the like button. Even with these dudes going back and forwards in New Orleans, and they were cool and friends and considered brothers and came up together, you have not heard them say one time that they were going to kill each other, right? And they going back and forth about money and stuff like that. Or whatever it is, words. Not one time have you said that. I don't like about, people trying to block folks from making money. Okay, I don't like that. But hey, it brings me to young Dolph, you guys. Today is young Dolph's birthday. Okay, this would be young Dolph's. He was killed in 2021. So this will be his third birthday of him not being here. Okay. I have to say the disrespect as it relates to young Dolph in his death has been so loud. And I can't understand how people can be human and wish death or say that a man that was not a threat to anyone, that was just walking into a cookie shop, that was back in his hometown to give out turkeys, how they could say that he is deserving of what happened to him, to totally take the blame and lay it at the feet of young Dolph and not put the blame at the feet of the people who was concocting a scheme and planning and plotting to take his life. Okay. So I think that's another issue that we have in our city. People don't want to put responsibility where it is due. It is easier to just blame the victim. Not one time have you ever heard me say that Juke deserved what he got. As a matter of fact, when Juke was killed, I cried. Okay. On live, y'all heard me, because there was another Black man that had lost his life, that has children. Okay. That has a mother, that has a family. Contrary to what what he did, I didn't want to see him die. I wanted to see him be indicted. And I was kind of pissed with the Memphis Police Department. I was kind of pissed with the AG's office because Juk was supposed to be indicted that January of 2023. Okay, they were supposed to indict him. Why they waited, why they decided not to indict him in November of 2023, I don't know. I think that had he been indicted, he would still be alive because unfortunately he lost his life in January of 2024, which was a couple of months later. Now, I don't know what happened to Juk. I believe that the people around him know what happened to him. I don't know if they're seeking justice for what happened to him. I have not seen anybody in Juk's camp say justice for Juk, because if they do say justice for Juk, then I would like to see them at least get justice. But what I have saw or seen is young Dolph's family on a continuous basis say justice for young Dolph. And I feel like that it is only right if this family, because when you take out somebody who was just walking into a cookie shop, and I don't know the circumstances of what happened to Juk. I mean, there were people that I know that was out there that when Juk was killed, that said that I mean, it's been, I don't even want to talk about the stories I've heard, child, because these folks get to getting scared on here and talking about what she know, what, you know. Hey, it's just, it's something. Okay, all we know at this point is that it was a white SUV, right? It was two white SUVs, right? That was involved. Well, I might just gave y'all an exclusive. I ain't gonna even talk about that. Okay, I gave y'all something else to eat off of. Okay, and but you know, that's all we know. Okay, and so, anyways, I don't know if it had anything to do with street stuff or not, but here's the thing about it: Juk was still a human being, and so whatever happened, whatever it was that happened to him, his part in what he played in Young Dolph's situation, I would like to see Big Juk. I would have wanted to see Big Juk receive justice. I did not want to see Big Juk killed. It hurt me to see Big Juk's mother kneel down over him. Now, according to some people on the scene, I don't know if it's true that she was kneeled down over him trying to give him CPR or something like that. I don't know. I was not there. But to see a picture of him like that, and then for people to put a picture out of a man laying there lifeless like that with his mother in desperation, kneel down over him in desperation, that hurts me. That hurt me, right? Because I am a mother, and regardless to what our children do or don't do, we don't want to see things happen to them. And I believe in justice. Okay, I wanted to see him indicted, in which they was going to indict him. He was supposed to be indicted. I'm telling you all this now in November of 2023. What made them not indict him at that time, I don't know. But I think that if he had been indicted, he would still be alive, right? Okay. He said, Miss T for helping keep his name alive all these years. Of course, capital BG, of course. And so, you know, on his birthday, I want to talk about this, you know, when people get to talking about, you know, Young Dolph deserved what he got. Young Dolph didn't deserve that. Young Dolph didn't deserve it just based on words and based on jealousy. People have talked about, a lot of these rappers have been into it with other people before, and they had said way worse than Young Dolph had said. But because Young Dolph was successful, because he was able to flex and floss and shine and all of that, Young Dolph was a target, right? They was jealous of him and they wanted what he had because they were caught up in those bad contracts. Contrary to what one may say, these folks didn't go up until after Young Dolph was killed, okay? And then I think it's extremely sad when I hear people say, you know, God had beaten Young Dolph. So now they still fighting with this man in his grave. They couldn't stop him. Okay, they really couldn't outshine him, even in him being independent. And so when they kept shooting at him and it didn't scare him, if you look at the year of 2021, that's when young Dolph had really started investing in his artists. We saw him doing Nothing to Me with which was a hit with his artist Paper Route Wu and Snoop Band's. Okay, we saw him direct Snoop Band's video that I still exercise to, that I love. Oh God, what's the name of that song? Y'all, what's the name of that Snoop Band song? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Then he was performing at that he was performing in bigger audiences, and just putting himself in a position to really help other artists. Now, the reason I say that Memphians should take it personally, because you had two labels like Cashmoney, Pop Out, that's my song right there. You had two labels like a Cashmoney and a No Limit that could have really helped the city of Memphis. At that time, the Memphis rappers really was in the spotlight. And I have to say, regardless, I talk about how much I love that New Orleans bounce music. I am Slick such a fan, but when asked my favorite artist, I have to be loyal to the city of Memphis, because I understand that the culture of Memphis, just like New Orleans got their own culture, Memphis has that. We have our own culture, the lingo, the language, the vibe, the swag, and the rappers. The young rappers that we have is just totally talented and off of the chain. And so we had two labels that could have really just worked, and young Dolph signing his people, helping to pull these young men out of poverty and giving them an opportunity to take care of their families and to create generational wealth. And then you had Yo Gotti, who unfortunately, of course, he had the label and he could have gotten himself out of those bad deals. But you had young Yo Gotti, who unfortunately was caught up and signed real bad deals and was not making the money, although Yo Gotti has had hits and is talented. I'm not gonna hate on him as it relates to the talent. He has a distinctive sound. When you hear Yo Gotti rap, you know his voice, right? He does not sound like anybody else. So if he could have just even got with Daddy-O and Young Dolph instead of hating on him, and decide that he was going to work some way to unravel himself in these slave deals, and then build his record label up where he could have also liberated his artists and have them independent. Because if you think about Moneybagg is one of the most talented artists that comes from out of Memphis. But Moneybagg is not getting the money that he should get, because about 4 or 5 people are in his pocket before he get his money. And so we have to take our hats off to Young Dolph for also being an astute businessman with his artists professionally, and the way he crafted and was grooming his artists so that they would not be rich slaves and be caught up in the industry, and so that they could really create some generational wealth and make some money. Now, if Young Dolph had been, if they had not taken his life, they had not interrupted his life, he would have signed more artists by now, right? They knew this. Instead of looking at the big picture, which is why I say Memphis, who is in the city, has a lot of impoverished neighborhoods, but all of the potential money can come from out of these impoverished neighborhoods, because these young boys are the ones that's talented as it relates to rap. I'm with Young Dolph. Why should an artist be made to be a workhorse to get out and be famous, but yet be broke, busted, and disgusted. So you have to give that to young Dolph, that he learned the business, okay, and then he put it to work and was not taking advantage of his artists. And so when we think about the millionaires and the wealth that could have been created throughout the city of Memphis, it pisses me off, right? And so that's why I say, with that jealousy that hangs in the balance as it relates to our city, the people should be ashamed of themselves. We got that slave mentality, and I can say it because I'm from Memphis, okay? Ain't nobody gonna whoop my ass, okay? Y'all know I've been getting on here talking my shit, and ain't nobody gonna stop me, okay? And with the jealousy that hangs over the city, okay, and it's been like that for a very long time, they shot themselves in the foot and in the stomach and in the heart when they participated, developed their green-eyed monster, when they allowed for, without saying anything, because it was people that already knew that these people were planning to take this boy out. That's why the Crime Stoppers line could be ringing off of the hook, right? Like hours after this happened, okay? People calling in, giving tips, and telling the police exactly what had happened, okay? But what happened was, if we could have gotten away from, the city could have gotten away from the jealousy that was held in some of the people, not everybody. But you know, a lot of these young men, when they come from out of the gutters, okay, when they come from out of the ghetto, from out of the streets and the hoods, they know nothing about business, right? They feel like fame is equivalent to wealth. Well, once upon a time, fame and wealth. What's up, Stan G? Once upon a time, fame and wealth did go hand in hand. But once Black people started, with all of the talents that the Black people have, what they started doing was they started separating fame and wealth. And so what they do is they make these rappers famous, and they don't have a damn dime to wipe their ass with, okay? They don't have no money at all, right? And so when I hear people say, to me, it's pretty twisted, but I am a sane person. I know I be kooky sometimes, okay? Because I be going off. When I see something, I just shoot off sometimes. And people be saying, what in the hell wrong with her? They don't know. They don't know, but the people that do it know what I be going off about. So when I hear people say that, you know, that it was Young Dolph's fault that he was killed, and they try and separate and take the responsibility from the people that did it, it lets me know that our city and other cities too, other people really got a long way to go, right? Because there was nothing right about what they did to Young Dolph, right? And so that's why we still celebrate him. I think about, you know, we all work hard. All of us have dreams. I know I'm a real hard worker. I'm really, really hard on myself. Sometimes we can get so engulfed in what the vision that we see, and trying to finance the vision that we see. Sometimes we will neglect ourselves, and that's not the thing to do. But we saw how Young Dolph was a hard worker and was engulfed in what he did until he brought his dream to fruition. And for him to be taken away from something that he worked hard for, just because of jealousy, and for the people to still be celebrated, is scary, right? It is imperative that justice is served, and it is definitely personal to me, because I see all of the talent in Memphis, right? So if we allow that green-eyed monster to get away with this, that's what a lot of people don't understand. And they are not held accountable for the continuous attempts on this man's life simply because of jealousy. The attempts, they want to try to kill him because they want to, that's a deterrence. Okay, if we attempt to kill you, And they just didn't, they was constantly getting people, black youngster and then recruited to kill him. They just didn't. He just didn't die. So the continuous efforts of trying to kill this man in the face of the police, in the face of the feds, in the face of the fans, in the face of the whole public. There has to be some justice in the face of all of those people. And it is the law enforcement that has to do that, right? Because the message has to be sent. Because surely if these demons get away with doing this, when another young man, young Dolph has a son who may follow in his footsteps, right? He may follow in his footsteps. He follow in his footsteps, and he decides that he wants to run a company, and he wants to be independent and start grooming artists. And then these same people, they'll be old and rotten by the time he get old and rotten. Okay. But they might decide, okay, well, we got to take him out. Okay. They start to get jealous of him and want to try to do something. I'm not speaking that on him. We rebuke that. Okay. But that's why that's why justice has to be served, so that history won't repeat itself. And once people start to see justice being served, they'll revert back to when they took all them folks down that was involved in what happened to young Dolph, and they'll calculate everything and calculate the consequences and say it simply just ain't worth it. Okay, they'll learn to control their emotions, right? So that's why we continue to celebrate young Dolph on his birthday. I know it's got to be a bittersweet time. It was not right for these people to take this man's life. They didn't give him life. Young Dolph's mother is Diane and Adolph Sr. Okay, they gave him life. Okay, God gave them to birth out. Okay, and they didn't even take his life. Okay, and they gave him life. So why do these Negroes who meant him no good, didn't like him, probably meant nothing to him, feel like that it was right for them to take his life, and now they think that they're going to be able to ride off into the sunset? Okay, it's just not going to happen. And so they get mad at me. They came into my chat yesterday and they threw out a subtle threat, and that's one of the reasons why I went in. Okay, it's just not good to threaten women. Okay, it ain't good to threaten women. Okay, because I'm not a gangster. I'm not in the streets. I believe in getting law enforcement involved in all things. Okay, that's how I've always been. All right. So, but that energy is still in the atmosphere. You don't do. If you do what I don't want you to do, then I'm gonna take you up out of here. Y'all, this is how these people work. One of the reasons that the people be on top of young black youngsters' heads so tough is because black youngster had decided that he was going to create an atmosphere. He was given that duty to create an atmosphere of nothing but fear when young Dolph was killed. You know what I mean? They wanted to produce fear in all people, the things that they was doing. And it's still there. And so that's the reason why I'm going to always call it to the attention of law enforcement when they think they're going to threaten me, because these are the things or my family, these are the things that they did to young Dolph, right? You don't say what I don't want you to say. You do what I say do. Or else I'm gonna threaten you and take you up out of here. Okay. But today we celebrate his birthday. Okay, we celebrate his birthday. That's why I always say, no, it was not his fault that he was killed. Okay. They was dead wrong for killing that man. And I'm praying for justice to be served to the 10th power. Okay. This was a talented young man. I'm very proud of him. You know, keep people that's been over there in Castelia know how, you know, that where they know he got it up out of the mud and the dirt. Okay. We didn't see him killing people to try to get to the top. What we saw was him using the roadblocks, okay, that they was throwing at him behind the scenes by trying to not get his music played. That would piss anybody off. I'm financing myself. I'm making my own money and financing myself. I'm not taking anything from anybody else, but you want to quietly go behind the scenes and get your people. DJ not play my music at the radio station, don't play my music at the clubs, don't do features with him, don't do this with him. They was behind the scenes trying to block him. And so when people say, well, you know, Dolph shouldn't have put that in the song, see, that's the issue that I have with people. Because see, I'm not one of those people. I got that true Leo energy. Okay. 100%. That's why I tell people when they piss me out, you better leave me alone, okay, before I expose you. It's one thing for me not to say nothing. It's another thing when I say, bitch, I got a lot of stuff I ain't said. And I'm going to put it out if you don't leave me alone. Because I don't throw rocks and hide my hands, okay? And so what young Dolph did was they was going behind the scene doing stuff to him. You trying to mess with my livelihood? You trying to block me. I don't like nobody that ever goes at somebody's livelihood. I can't never be cool with nobody that ever tries to even think of messing with my livelihood. Okay? That's a scum, garbage, duck. If you ever seen one, that's a mofo that ain't never had nothing and ain't got no problem with trying to bring you down to the mud with them. That's why you don't deal with people when the yoke is not equal. They know how to go down deep in the basement. Some people don't dwell in those places. But when they ain't got nothing or ain't got nothing to lose, they try to go I go real low. That's what they say. I go real low. Yeah, because that's where you dwell. I don't dwell in those places. I don't allow my mentality to even go down that low. Okay? But when people are hateful and jealous, that's what they do. They dwell in those places because they know if they can get you to come down there in the mud with them, it's quicksand. It'll be hard for you to get back up because you don't dwell in them type places. You take pride in saying, bitch, I take the elevator to the top floor. I'm top tier shit. Okay. And even if I ain't top tier yet, I got a top tier mentality. So I don't take the elevator to the basement where you at. No, I can't fight you. I can't let you trick me into a fight because I might not be able to come back up because I don't know how to dwell in them dark places. Okay. So I'm not going to let you trick me down there to the basement with you. When I hit that elevator, bitch, I'm taking it to the top floor because that's where I dwell at. Now, you can get like me or you can stay your crabby, dusty, musty ass down there, bitch. But you're going to be down there by yourself. Okay? And so what they did was, okay, they kept trying to trick him out of his position. All they wanted, because I'm going to tell y'all what they was getting ready to do. The reason he said that they was on their way, Cornelius said that they was on their way over there to Westwood. Y'all know my thoughts and stuff started coming, and but y'all gonna have to bear with me. Thank you for being a member for 13 months, Nene Loyal. I appreciate that so much. They kept shooting at the boy, kept going behind the scenes, trying to block this man's manhood. Now, any man that takes care of his family, okay, those that don't can't identify with this, but those that do can. When you are the breadwinner, when you are a provider, when you are a hard worker and you ain't bothering nobody, okay, and you take care of your family, you ain't taking food out of nobody else's mouth. and you got somebody because of their jealousy, because I believe him when he said he was just mad, okay, because he would not sign with him. Okay, so these folks going behind the scene after you spending your money, okay, and blocking and trying to block you to try to keep you from eating. Any man would have an issue with that, okay? Any man would have an issue with that. But people want to try to say that it was Young Dolph's fault because what he did was, y'all gonna block me, I'm gonna put it in a song, I'm gonna let everybody know about it, and then the music goes up. If the song was not getting the traction that it was getting, if his songs were not successful, because there's been people to write raps and diss Yo Gotti and them before, they didn't have no issues with it because it was not as successful. Okay, but you think you're gonna allegedly mess with my girl, okay, and you think you're gonna be successful off of getting money off of the roadblocks that I'm trying to make for you behind the scenes? You got the nerve to go up every time we throw a stone at you, you stepping on it and going up? Oh, hell no. So when they couldn't trick him out of his position, okay, and trick him into, all they wanted to do was get into a war. They were gonna send them little dudes out that we saw was straight dropping them at that thing. They send them out to lose their life, okay? If they couldn't trick him out of his position and send the little dudes out to get into a shootout and lose their life, they was on their way over there to Westwood to kill up his artist. Okay, it just so happens that he intercepted that with his own life. I hate to say that. He intercepted that. Okay. And so inadvertently, okay. And so if they had got over there to Westwood, of course, Cornelius probably would have lost his life. They would have shot back, but a lot of innocent people would have lost their life. And guess what? They would have either pulled Young Dolph into a retaliatory situation because them fat cats was sending them little dudes out to do it. So Young Dolph would have retaliated with them. But them fat cats that really sent the hit felt like that they was going to be able to sit back being the puppet masters and watch Young Dolph crash out after being discouraged about them shooting up his artist and killing his artist. It was all just to lure him into a fight or discourage him from being great. Somebody help me, okay? These are the lengths that these people went through to try to stop this boy, okay? And I'm one of the ones that can identify with it. Okay, I'm sure that we all can. I'm not making this about myself because I'm a hard worker, y'all. I'm a hard worker. I works hard. I go hard. And people might look at it as being braggadocious when I say I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. That's because I'm a hard worker. Something gonna work. I'm going to get everything because something gonna work. I'm going to always have some type of revenue. Now I'm going to get my licenses and insurance and this. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because, hey, I'll never be broke. Right? And so when people get jealous, people want what you got. They want your drive, but they don't want to work hard. That's why I say in order to do what I do, you got to do what I do. Folks don't know what I go through. I be stressed out. But I'm willing to go through it because I works hard. Okay? This boy built an empire from the ground. And you got people that sit back and look at your work ethic. They look at the way people love you. Okay? When they can't defame your character, they coming after your physical. And that's what they did. It's still happening today. That's the reason why I can identify with what he went through. And that's why I say it is imperative. They got to be exposed. All people want to be able to do is do you dirty, and you sit back and not say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. They want to be able to do it, and you suffer, and they want to be able to watch you suffer. And then folks say, you just take the high road and let God handle it. I know, because I went through a situation recently where a person really tried to defame my character, doing some shit now, him and some people, and think I don't know it, just slime me. Okay? It's a damn shame how slimy and snakish people can be and then show right up in your chat. But it's all good. You have to pray for them, right? But it was some shit that I could have said that I didn't do. Okay? It's a whole lot of stones that I could have thrown that I didn't throw. Okay? But all people want to be able to do, okay, is make you look bad, throw stones at you, defame your character, try to make you lose what you work for. That's why I say the yoke has to be equal. You can't deal with people that ain't got a damn thing. Because the moment you cut them out, the first thing they gonna come for, I'm gonna try to get them fired off of their job so they can be a bomb like me. That's the mentality of a person that ain't even fit to be in nobody's life, let alone yours. So that's why you have to be very meticulous, right? And so that's why I know that even though these people, they did this to young Dolph, they still walking around. Thank you, Joy Loves God. They're still walking around. And there has to be some justice. Okay? People like this got to be off the street. It's too much talent in Memphis. These young boys are suffering. Don't you know it hurts me when I go? I like to still ride through South Memphis. When I have cases and stuff in South Memphis, I ride through my old hoods and stuff. When I grew up in Clementine, I still get tears in my eyes when I see these young dudes and they out there, they talking, they on the corner, and you can hear, you might have a window down, they rapping and shit. These boys talented, y'all. They hurting. They ain't got no guidance. And so if you built something and they got the talent and you got what it takes to help them to take care of their family, you tell them, bro, get your mind right. No, you ain't gonna be no hitman at this label. But if you want to make some money, bro, you want to go up, you got to get your mind right, because we got to make some money. You got the talent. I can help you. I can put you on, but you got to get your mind right, though, bro. The way these boys suffering and hurting, you think they ain't gonna get their mind right? If they fall in line with saying, man, in order to get on, they gonna make me the next biggest thing, I gotta go be a hitman. If they fall in line with that, they'll fall in line with walking a straight line so that they can enjoy their money without retaliatory situations or looking at going to jail. That's why I say them niggas wrong for what they did. They know they wrong and they still doing it. They just know the feds on top of their head. They ain't had time to really groom nobody else. Right? And so that's why I say it is imperative that the root of the tree is dug up. Okay. Sometimes, you know, my grandmother used to say this, and I just always this has always stuck with me. Some people just gotta die out. They just gotta go. Some people are so rotten and they can produce nothing but rotten fruits on a tree. Sometimes they just got the tree has to be dug up. Everything have to die out so a whole generation can be liberated. I ain't got no problems with it. Okay. A whole generation can be reprogrammed, okay, and liberated. Right? And I've never, not one time that I've gotten on here, I've never said I wanted to see anybody die. I don't want to see nobody go and retaliate against anybody. Absolutely not. I get on here and preach because I'm trying to open the eyes up of the future. How in the hell are you going to be an OG, which is an elder, which is what they talk about in the Bible? The OGs are just really supposed to be equivalent to the elders. And what does God say about the elders? They're supposed to have wisdom and they're supposed to be reverenced, right? Respected. Because of their wisdom, it helps to guide, right? And so what happens? These dudes old as Methuselah, and they are misleading the younger people. I say this all the time. You know, I think about what, you know, the lady I know that was saying that she was best friends with Straight Drop's mother. And she said all Leroy's kids were always beautiful, from the girl to the oldest brother to Justin. Okay. Straight Drop was not a bad looking child. I told y'all my oldest daughter almost made me spit up. She said, Mama, and she said this a couple years ago when I started vlogging on the case. She said, well, Mama, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this now, Mama. Before this stuff happened with Young Dolph, if I had met Straight Drop, because her and Straight Drop the same age, Mama, I promise to God I would have talked to him. And you have to think about my daughter and Straight Drop's baby's mama look similar, okay? So she would have been his type. Hold on one second. Hey, boo. Okay, you guys, I'm back. But I talk about this, you guys, because, you know, I'm definitely praying for the city of Memphis. I'm praying for a different mindset. And the men that have been fortunate enough to obtain quite a bit of money, I hope that they allow, whether they believe in God or not, some type of good spirit to lead them in a better way, and definitely not greed and not power. The power that they hold over a lot of these young men who just want a chance, who just want to be able to give their mother a house and move out of the hood to obtain some of these nice things that they have. The illusion that they give them of that. I pray that God changes their hearts some kind of way. And I know in business, you have to be firm. And I'm not saying don't, because I have a business and I know you have to be firm. But what I'm saying is don't be evil. Don't be evil. Don't send these young men out. If they're already out there crashing out, understand that their life means something. You know, just because Straight Drop says that he was a hitman, don't mean as an elder, as an OG, that you got to hire him. You could put him out of business by not hiring him as a hitman. That's how you do that. Well, he might be a hitman, but bro, I ain't messing with that. I got too much to lose. I ain't messing with that. I ain't get ready to do that. Nah, that little brother, he need to, as a matter of fact, he talented. I talked to brother, see if his mind right. I can sign him and help him to make some real money. But he got to give that life up. That's I believe that's what God means when he says give you life and give you life more abundantly. What these folks are doing is they've created bad karma for themselves. I hear people say, okay, all the time, well, such and such, the devil is a liar. The devil is messing with the devil. They just trying to come and indict me. Yeah, the devil hating on me. You done put out all types of hits on folks. Okay. You hear women say the devil is a liar. The devil, the devil done got inside my husband with a Z on it. My husband, he want to have philandering ways. But how many women husband have you hurt? How many women been up all night? Okay, how many women have you hurt when they husbands didn't come home because he was laid up with his face up in your tail all night? How many women have you hurt? So now the devil ain't in everything. A lot of you just reaping what you sow. Okay. That's why a lot of times, a lot of these folks, when they talk about the devil is a liar, the devil messing with my daughter, the devil messing with my son and got his hand on, the devil just trying to take my empire, I be saying, no, you a lie. You got to reap what you sow. Those are the laws of the earth. The devil ain't in everything, and you can pray until the cows come home. You still got to reap what you sow, because what you put out into the universe is what prospers. The seeds that you sow are the seeds that's going to grow. So a lot of you, it's just reaping season. And so I said that to say this, regardless to what I get on here and say and don't say, it ain't going to change a thing. Yesterday I went in because somebody came in here and threw out a threat as it relates to my daughter. Okay. And a lot of people didn't see that. Okay. So when I got off of here, I went to see my clients, and then I immediately went over to the police department. I had screenshotted, went over to the police department, put some stuff on record, and then turn around and talk to them about what I was talking about and the people that I believe that was involved in it, because this shit gonna stop. If you say we can't stop you, y'all know how many times that, especially when I first started talking about this case, how people was calling me, because at that time I was a full-time business owner, just strictly doing investigative work, as if as an investigator, I don't know how to move. Right. That's when I was doing private work. I still do investigative work, just not private. Okay. And how many calls I got from people saying, well, I want to hire you. Can you come to my house? And I think somebody got a bug in my house. Do you got the equipment to find bugs? Hell yeah, I got it. Sure do. Can you come to my house? Hell no. But I tell you what I will do. I got partners that I was partnered with that are retired from law enforcement, the FBI, places like that. I remember one boy told me, I said, no, I tell you what though, I can't come. And I can't come to your house. I can't take that job because I don't go inside people's houses. Okay. Not unless I was going to go with some more guys. Okay. That's why I said, Lord, I sure thank you. I don't do private work no more. And so he called me, and people think that they can lure you in with money. See, I've never been one of them things that allow money to lead me into one of them people to allow money to lead me into a burning house. That's why I've always had multiple streams of income, or tried to have. Okay. Anyways. And I remember the guy kept calling. Now I need you to come. I think they got my house fire. This is right after I started recording it. Okay, he called several times, and so I remember when the officer came, I took. I've always just documented stuff, right? And he said, yeah, he was up to no good, because I said, well, I tell you what, I said, I have a partner. He has a company, and this is the type of stuff that he really does all day. I said, I can do it, but I'm not going to. I said, he's a retired FBI agent and he'll be glad to take the job. No, ma'am. Nah, ma'am. Nah, that's all right, ma'am. You good. That's okay. All right. That's all right. I found somebody else. I said, oh, okay. So these are the types of things that these people have done to try and quiet people. Okay. And I think this is also another reason why law enforcement is adamant about getting everybody, because you will not put fear out into the atmosphere, right? If you don't say the things I want you to say, then I'm gonna come into your live and threaten your daughter, or I'm gonna threaten you. They know they can't lure me nowhere. They know the only thing they can. Okay, don't get me started. Okay. But I think it's a darn shame. The energy. This is the energy that was out there. That's why it's the same people. This is the same stuff that they did to young Dolph. And for me to be a woman, a bunch of damn sissies. Okay? A bunch of damn sissies. Most men don't even be bothered with women, not unless they're trying to get with them. I could see if they was coming into the live to see if I was going to show my legs or something today. These bitches coming up in the live to try and plot on me as they did young Dolph, like I'm a damn man. A bunch of damn sissies. Okay? And so that's why I say that jail is befitting for them, because they be in there with other men, okay? And then they can have their way up in there, because that's what they need to be, with another damn man, because real men don't do that. They definitely ain't going to be threatening no woman. Especially a woman crazy as I am. The way they done came up in here and I done cussed them out. Okay? Ain't that the truth, too pretty Miss Kitty? Ain't that the truth, too pretty Miss Kitty? I'm gonna put this up here, but we were, But happy birthday to young Dolph, okay? I thought I was gonna be on here longer. Y'all know my birthday coming up, right? And so what ended up happening was last night, my friend took me, one of my friends, he really my ex-boyfriend. We just real good friends now, child. Ain't no coding going on, period. I made him bring me right home. It was late, but I enjoyed myself. But the steak made me sick. So he done called me this morning saying, don't you want to go have brunch? My birthday coming up, so he doing it for my birthday, y'all. So how can I turn it down? I'm getting ready to go have brunch. If he trying to get back in, it ain't working, child, because he was a cheater at this damn world. But he always did know how to spoil a chick, but he a cheater. So ain't nothing gonna happen with that. I'm just getting ready to go eat, child. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna come back on. Let me go meet him. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. I'll be back on later. I'll talk to you later.